so this is, I don't know if you can see her.
Oh wow. Will it focus closer?
Yeah.
So that's Lindell. Yeah, it's trying to focus. It wants to focus there.
It did, and then it did, and then it didn't. Oh, she's so happy.
That's nice.
Yeah, so she's got a big smile on her face, and she's got a little shield, and she's got a cloak, and yeah. So then I gotta. There wasn't any instructions online on how to do steel miniatures, so I gotta figure out like how to prime and paint and all the other stuff. So I invested probably
Steel miniatures?
Yeah.
Don't you have to put some kind of a base coat on it so it'll
That's
stick?
what it is. So I am gonna have to prime it. I'm gonna have to prime it, but just exactly what to prime it with. There's like I have a metal primer kind of thing.
Yeah. Is it a spray on?
Yeah. It says it's for plastic and for metal.
Yeah, that'll just make it less of a glossy surface, so the paint.
Yeah, and so it does seem to actually it does coat it. This is another one that we had.
I'm sorry, Thomas. You caught me in one of my major hobbies. Used to be my college major, painting.
Really?
So,
oh my gosh! Can you have some hints? Because
I'm just like, oh yeah.
I dropped a ton of cash just trying to buy all the stuff to do it, but I have no idea what I'm doing. It's zero.
No, that's how you learn. I've
just been trying to watch YouTube videos to try to figure
now is the best time to do that because it's on YouTube. Everything you ever want to know, it's there. You just watch how to do it, and you can do it like somebody that's a master of it too. Whereas you had to go to school for it for
one of the videos he's talking about is these shades or washes.
Yeah.
Which I had no idea were even a thing. I thought it was just paint and then done, but no, you have to wash it, you have to file it, you have to prime it, you have to put your base coat, you have to wash it, then you put your detail on, and then you gloss or finish. It's holy crap.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and layering. Brian too. Gosh.
What's up, Brian?
You also need to plan what your end result's going to be like, because you might want to prime it differently and have your base coats and your layers based on your end result, right?
And I have no idea what it's going to look like if I put on one thing versus another thing.
And if you want to learn from a master, somebody like Monet would have said, always go fat over lean. So you want to start with your thinnest layers, most watered down, and layer them up so that you can get transparency coatings. So a color will be changed by the layer over the top, whether it's a varnish or something with a sparkle to it, like a metallic, or and you layer them up like that to make things look more three-dimensional.
And then some of the other videos that I've watched is you do your base coats and then you go back and you do your highlights after.
Yeah, and the highlight is this ink that seeps into the cracks and crevices because you're working on such a small scale. It's too hard to get a brush in there unless it's a 1/0, which is a single brush hair.
So that's what the shade apparently does, but that goes into the low light.
Right, it will spread across any major surfaces into the cracks and gaps and dry there. Almost like you're outlining all of the shadows.
You guys got David talking about painting.
Yeah, look, I became invested.
Yay!
Brian had something to add.
Sorry, Brian.
Monet's comment about fat over lean applies to dating.
Oh,
Brian! Off topic.
I was like, Brian's an artist. He'll have something profound to share in this.
So when you go on a date, you order a lean steak and not a fatty one. Got it.
There you go. And then he channeled Genevieve instead of Brian.
Yeah, he went full Genevieve.
I've never painted a miniature before, though. I know about the principles of painting in color, but stuff like that shade thing and your liquid highlight, I've never heard of.
Yeah, we bought shade too. Have you guys ever seen a picture of my U miniature?
Yeah, the U Auburnell miniature.
I've painted myself. I'll go get it.
Yeah, and we did a soft keen and grabbed the soft keen also. back when we played here, when Jenny was visiting, early days. Hey, speaking of which, we're talking about early days making miniatures when you were here.
Oh, wait, I've got my, yeah.
Yeah, Seda was going to go find the U miniature, and I think we have a Krampus, maybe? And then there was a Safkeen also.
There was no good, like, monks, so I had to make her, like, a weird fighter.
But the hair looked really good, didn't it? Yeah, the hair looked really good.
That's good hair.
Oh. Is that the short sword that went missing?
I banished it to frickin' otherwhere.
Yep, that's what she's going on about.
Safkeen used to have a short sword, and then you got rid of it.
Get it? Used to?
Used to. No longer stuck in otherwhere.
Was it a special sword?
I know Cece's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
The most important thing about my U figure, oh, it's too dark, it's backlit, is that I painted her.
I'll use my
her-
light.
her Hungarian.
Seda, I have the overhead light. Let me see if it looks better. That's right, we're in the same room.
Isn't it?
Embroidery.
She painstakingly colored that.
Maybe I can.
Here it looks like a drow.
Show me the back. Show me the back.
Yeah, turn it. Well, he's trying to get the lighting.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the lighting right.
It's too hard.
So focus
I'll
on your
take a
face. Try to put like something behind it, so then it like.
Yeah. Like a hat.
He's holding it.
Nope, that's not working. Dramatic lighting.
Take pictures. But I painted on the, of course, the Albergian embroidery.
Which is beautiful.
Let's see if you will stay on that. And if it will focus.
Oh.
Now
Oh.
focus. Focus.
Come on,
Now
focus.
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 Now
Focus, webcam. Oh!
And she's dead.
It's kind of hard to see the details on there. We'll have to take a picture of it with a, one of those fancy dancy iPhone cameras or something.
I painted a bunch of undead.
Let's see if I can get this back in place.
See, I got shade too.
Yeah. Which one is that?
Nuln oil.
Yeah,
See that one? I ordered it up. So I did a stupid thing. I ordered a bunch of paints and shades off Amazon.
Oh no.
Thinking like, oh yeah, there's probably nowhere in Saskatoon that sells this stuff because this was like what the video series that I was watching recommended.
Yeah.
And then I go to my local, like, mostly where I get any of my dice or my D&D stuff, and they have a whole section on paints and shades and all this other stuff, and it's the brand that they had recommended. And I was like, oh, how much for one of these? Like, I asked about the gnome oil specifically. How much for one of these shades? And he said, oh, it's $10, and I paid $20 on Amazon.
Oh no way! Yeah, ours would
be.
be the equivalent of Canadian 10 where I got it. So I got Nuln oil for you because her costumes are black, but then we also got the Earth shade, the brown one.
Yeah, that's the one that I bought. Otherwise.
Yeah, because I did a bunch of undead. Like I have actually about 10 zombies I did for you to raise from the dead. I can't focus. And I use the Earth Shade. So the Earth Shade is really good for undead skin.
Ooh.
So it's still usable. But the Nuln oil is really good for like the facial features.
Yeah, and like this is I have like other little plastic ones. Like I have like
I think I have him.
Zombie.
Yeah, zombie guy with the vest.
Yeah.
Yay, I have him. They're so fun to paint, Thomas. You're gonna love it. I'll take a picture of him.
Okay, send me a picture.
I got really into painting them as therapy. Like on a bad day, I would just come home and paint a miniature because I was. So
here's the thing, like every single personality test that I do. So like technically, for whatchamacallit, the 4-letter one. I'm an ENFP, and all of that says like, oh, you're an artist and you like to like do artistic stuff, and I'm like, I do nothing.
Nothing artistic
at all, as other than like creating characters at random because I'm bored.
That's artistic though.
Well, yeah, but it's
like
so
visual
maybe
art.
this is like what I need to be doing now. I don't know.
Painting miniatures.
I get
You can have an Instagram. Start doing it for people. There's your business. Boom.
Say again?
You can start an Instagram of you doing it and then start getting people to pay you to paint their miniatures.
Oh no, I could never. I don't know if I could ever do it for pay.
Oh, I thought
Seda, you could log into your phone on Discord and share the video.
Ooh.
Oh, will it still be kind of blurry though?
I'm not sure.
I'm lazy.
I went to a Warhammer shop and bought like a starter set of like figurines and like built them all and then like painted half of them. I haven't finished painting them yet. But it's really fun. It's really, really fun. And like because you're painting it for yourself, right? Like you don't have to show anyone. So like if they're like kind of shitty, whatever.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Like therapy.
I feel like I got a bit better as I did more. Like I was able to like be a bit more precise and stuff, and I got like a couple of brushes and things. And I mean, there's like so many different kinds of paints that you can use. I mean,
yeah.
I don't really
And there's base coat brushes, there's detail brushes, there's dry brushes, there's probably 6 other kinds that I don't even know about yet. Like,
Can I recommend a really good show that me, David, and Saga watched when we were painting our minifigurines?
yes, please. Yes, please.
I say recommend. I don't actually remember what it's called, but it's called like Painters Guild or something.
Yeah.
That's what I've been watching. I just
Yeah,
finished
Painters
season.
Guild. That guy's
We
so
watched.
goofy.
It's really, really fun, and like even if you're not
Oh, Seda,
painting,
here's
it's really nice to just watch it. Like, it's just really lovely background.
Yeah, Will Friedle is quite a good host.
Yeah.
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 He cracked me up because he was just so bad in the beginning, and then
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what I
his
liked about it
ads
though.
were
'Cause
awful.
I think
Yeah.
they played it up as much as they could, like with his whatever his first figure ever. Like he probably painted that when he was like 8. Or...
Yeah.
Right. Well, I just like
his
if you're.
first quote wasn't terrible. Like
No, he wasn't terrible, but when you're a complete beginner, it's really nice to have a host that's a complete beginner. He wasn't pretending. It wasn't like Bob Ross teaching you, where he's like, well, "You're a master." So.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's 100% is like someone showing me that it's okay to be a beginner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that show.
Yeah.
Ooh, those blues are nice, Seda. I like those like really cobalty blues on that goblin.
Yeah, thanks. I think this you is a drow. This figure, right? It was the only figure we could find with a.
Yeah, I think so. And you just repainted her face to kind of match.
I also cut her ears off.
Yeah, we had to shave the points off the ears.
Because we couldn't find a figure.
That's another thing with plastic ones. You got to cut off the flashing or whatever it's called.
Yeah. The seam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's you.
I have accidentally when I was building my little figurines, my little Warhammer figurines. It's the first time I've ever like built a figurine before, because obviously the ones that we bought were pre-made and stuff like that.
Right.
So I would like snip it out with its little like plastic. It came on like this big sheet of like.
Oh, I've seen those.
Yeah. Snip them out, and most of it was fairly obvious. But there were some times when I would genuinely accidentally, cut a piece off that would like slot into the body or something. So like some of my little paladin warriors are missing arms and legs because I snipped the bits off.
Much.
You got more
to the body. So I'm just like, it's just war wounds. It's fine. They lost an arm in battle. No.
See, there you go. It's not a mistake.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Make it work. It's a make it work moment.
Throw that arm away. I didn't need an arm. Not important.
Yeah, Seda, that's the exact same zombie. I'm gonna try to make him as good as yours.
Oh, you can probably do better. I just used a lot of that Nuln oil. No, I used the earth oil on them because it makes the browns. They look really undead if you put that earth
it's better
oil.
on flesh, I think.
Yeah, the earth. Yeah, the earth tone one.
Yeah.
For like face
These
shadows.
goblins are so cute. Oh my gosh, and those details on our cloak. That's amazing.
The goblins are cute.
Yeah, I really just got into it after Jenny left. That year was really tough, and it sucked really bad in the United States. So I just
It hasn't
painted...
gotten better since.
No, it hasn't really gotten better. But all I did was paint minis for like 6 months, every day, just paint minis.
I feel you. It's
Yeah.
good to. It's a nice brainless
Mm-hmm.
thing to do.
Yep.
The only reason I stopped was because we never game in person. Like you guys actually go out and have other gaming sessions in person, right? Whereas we don't have anywhere to game in person. So.
I still really want to make a Leomander at some point. It would be very challenging, but yeah, I'd love to do that.
Make a legend if you make.
Well, yeah, he'd be mounted. He would have to be mounted. So yeah, that would be really challenging to. What's up?
I'm on Hero Forge right now, and they have fish people heads.
I want a custom Hero Forge one.
You can add fins to your arms or legs.
Yeah. See, the annoying thing is, I don't necessarily canonically imagine something with arm fins, but she wears braces. So, like, when I've added the braces and the fins, they look stupid.
Oh, yeah. Can you do just one bracer and then a fin on the other arm?
I've not thought about that, but I feel like she'd have both braces.
Then it would be like kind of best of both worlds.
Like insinuating that if she didn't have a
under the other brace is another fin.
Right. Or just like from this side she's doing this punch and from this side she's doing this punch kind of thing. Or
like this one is extended and this one is retracted.
Yes, there we go. Or oops, one fell off because I punched him so hard.
I don't want my non-existent fins to fall off, and I don't want them to retract either.
I think it'd be cool if like you were doing a punch, and the one out had had no bracer, so you could see the fin really well, and then the one in is like the defensive one, and that one would, have the bracer.
I mean, if she did have fins, which I don't imagine her having, but if she did, she could like sharpen them and then use them as knives.
Heck yeah. I mean, there's other races that have claw moves and bite moves.
Yeah, taxis.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why they didn't give Tritons anything. Maybe because you have to be out of water to fight? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've got good swimming speed. And
or they thought
that's
like
kind of an important thing.
They thought fish fins weren't strong enough to deal damage? I don't know.
Just giving them a swim speed means that she can fight normally underwater as opposed to everyone else who's got all the penalties.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it.
And I can speak to aquatic creatures.
That's the part.
And understand their thoughts.
We gotta find a fish to interrogate about all this stuff going on.
And ask it why it doesn't have legs.
Yes,
what are you trying to prove?
You are inferior.
Fish clearly should have legs.
Yeah,
I love
that. That would totally work for her.
I want a Hero Forge one.
Yeah, the Hero Forge ones are proportioned really well for me.
I made one a long time ago, but we should make new ones. And then you could have a little rampart, and then Lindell could have a little spider. I don't know if you can have spiders on Hero Forge, but if not, maybe you can have a snake. And then Jen doesn't have a pet. You can have a tiny pixie.
A bottle.
A bottle, yeah. A bottle. Xavier could have a little lizard. I'm sure they must have a lizard.
Oh, we need to bring
Speaking
up
of Xavier, I'm not sure if Kit can join or not because he was sick, so we'll see. He said he might log in for audio only, but I haven't seen any messages from him, so he may or may not join.
I do love Subkeen's little ear fins. She definitely has ear fins.
Yeah,
neck fins.
I think that would be like a webbed ear.
Have just monk.
I imagine that with your changing moods, they maybe flare up or down.
That'd be so cute.
Or like kind of wrinkle or ruffle when you're confused. Or
In and out.
yeah, they're like straight up when you're angry.
Jenny, you have to get this one. Hold on. Print screen. There we go. Send! There we go.
No, it isn't.
In Messenger.
Is that a chef's cap?
Oh my gosh, chef's cap
Yes, it
and an
is.
apron.
And you're kicking.
Oh, that's the best. You need a frying
Oh my
pan. Is there a
gosh.
frying pan weapon?
Or knife.
There's definitely a
Or
knife.
just
I
a
don't know.
cook pot, the big cook pot, and a knife in the other hand.
Smack people with a little hat. It's so cute.
It's really cute. Chef hat.
Yeah.
It's like sat here at home.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. Chef Keen.
D&D is so fun now that it's all stuff you can own.
Mm.
You can like make just about anything now. So cool.
Hero Forge is crazy though. It's the magic of 3D printing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we made the year that Jenny visited, we designed our characters in Hero Forge, but they've added so much more.
Yeah,
than
they
we
had
did
all
it.
those Kickstarter. They had that massive Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
For color
Mhm.
ones,
Right.
like 3D print color
Yeah.
figures.
Yeah, you can.
I was
If you want to
thinking
spend
of
extra
doing-
money, you can order them colored.
That's so cool.
And like with tons of different options and like customizable prints and tattoos and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
very, very cool.
Which obviously would be important for you to have all her tattoos on her arms.
All right. So let's go ahead and begin. I've got you guys on the quest countdown clock to show you that at this point it's not quite midday, about 10 in the morning, and you are in the cavern somewhere beneath the sunken city in the side of the cliff face. You decided after absconding a little bit early in the morning from the meadery, the Hopsmiller meadery, and then traveling towards away from Hopsmiller Castle. Instead, choosing to duck into the woods and travel to the woods to the sunken city. You encountered some assassins, and after some clever manipulating, figuring out where Genevieve was, Xavier bamfing down there, and then Lindell altering the memory of one of the assailants, got a fast pass down to the entrance of the Black Market Society, where you met Edmund, who is just like John Malkovich, but a little bit more opulently dressed. And he invited you to enter into the inner sanctum with a warning. But you guys chose to push in, and now you are inside the massive cavern with a rushing waterfall and a massive ship parked just off the side of some kind of underground river in a domed area with a cage that hangs on a massive chain above a fire pit. You sit at the table now with the rest of Short Expectations, and the Edmund, the head of the Black Market Society, has given you an interesting proposition. Meanwhile, Safkeen had some dialogue back and forth with Lilith as you ask questions, and he tries to maybe procure your services, help you out a little bit while helping himself out with a Panopticon prison heist to bring someone that he wants, as well as Othmon, Genevieve's former captain and companion, who is now imprisoned in Panopticon.
Paramour. I bet Jen would call him a paramour.
Now I'm with Lindell.
Fancy.
Booty call.
And so he has given you the option to work together on a mutually beneficial journey, if you so choose. Meanwhile, Safkeen had been offered a strange device from Lilith and tried it out with some uncomfortable results, and dropped this kind of brass ball with a blue stone inside of it, a weird whirling contraption, onto the table. It's a little bit smaller than maybe a baseball. And looking at her hand, kind of rubbing it, and Lilith asks her, "What did you hear?"
I'm gonna look up and I'm like, what is this?
It's a device of my own invention.
Yeah, what is it for?
Well, what did you hear?
You tell me what it's for first, and I'll tell you what I heard.
It makes you hear voices.
We don't need a device for that in this house.
What do you think you heard?
Well, wait, I've got to find our conversation.
Her piercing blue eyes just gaze right into you. The flowing, nice red hair and kind of the attitude are just making you feel a little bit more nervous than usual.
Stop kidding around, attractive lady. Can't handle it.
Safkeen begins to sweat.
You will pick up the device. Did this thing hurt you, Safkeen? And then she'll just punt it into the ocean.
What?
Okay. Lilith stands up on the bench as you pitch it up over at an arc. Roll a strength check.
Oh, you literally do that? No, don't do that.
No, it's done. It's happening. Roll a strength check.
I'm not gonna let some crazy redhead hurt my best friend with her device. I don't have my dice out. Shit.
Well, no.
I'll roll on the screen. What is a strength check? D20. Bam. Oh, a 4 plus 0. A 4.
You throw it straight up in the air, and she looks, and it looks like it's about to arc over, and then it just kind of crests directly above the two of you and starts plummeting back down. Lilith reaches out to grab it and snatches it back in the air, clutching it and like kind of breathing, almost as she's out of breath for some reason, and looks back to you. I know what to expect now from you. That is worth quite a sum of money. I'm so glad that didn't go in the water.
Don't hand strange devices to my best friend.
She was curious. Of course I was going to let her play with something.
What does that mean?
I can't contain my excitement. These are my creations, my babies. Of course I'm going to share it with anybody who's interested.
Well, you shock Safkeen again. It's going in the ocean.
It didn't shock her, did it?
She acted shocked.
Safkeen, did it shock you? Physically, literally, emotionally.
See? This is shocked face.
No, I still can't
Everyone that
hear
knows-
anything.
Oh, she can't hear us.
Hello?
Safkeen.
Wait, Safkeen can't or Jenny can't?
Jenny can't hear us. Safkeen has disassociated. She's in a different place now.
Apparently.
I have to try and
She's
get my
in shock,
Discord.
it sounds like.
Can we text her and say we can hear her?
Yeah. She might have to restart.
I can't hear anyone. I try and.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, we'll restart. Yeah, that works too. Okay.
Yeah, maybe if you restart. Okay. So anyway, she snatches the stone back, puts it back in one of her coat pockets, and sits back down with the rest of you.
Literally go back and tell me everything because I had nothing after.
Okay, you can hear us now?
Okay, so what was the last thing you heard?
Sorry. I just heard Seda saying that she rolled a 4 plus 0.
Okay, yeah, she lobbed the stone, and it looks like it's going to arc up above where Lilith's hand is trying to grab it on the way up, and instead it just keeps going straight up and arcs straight back down, and Lilith snatches it out of the air, breathing heavily, and tucks it back away in her coat, looking down to you. I am so glad that did not go in the water. That is made of very expensive materials that probably would have been destroyed.
And then I said, don't shock my friends, or next time it goes in the water. Maybe.
It didn't shock her, did it? Safkeen?
How do you know
She
my
looked
name?
shocked. Oh. Oh, yeah. How do you know her name?
I figured that was your name since you kept yelling it.
Did I yell it?
Yeah, you have a habit of being really bad at code names.
Oh, are we using code names?
Fish wasn't a real name.
Until
Fish and
you...
Skull, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I came up with those. Oh. Something.
We figure. Do you think Fathom and Styx are their real names?
That's what we thought. They were so cool, and then we're like, well, we got to come up with our own code names because we're going to be going in and meeting these guys, and we can't be any less cool than them.
Hello, Spiralia, founders and all. Of course, family bloodlines are going to be really important, and everyone's going to have a last name.
And the name Skull is not cooler than the name you. Just throwing that out there.
Yes, it was a rather poor choice.
Yeah. And you guys, this guy's a smuggler. There are literally 40 posters with my face on it, all through Gold and Silver District. He was gonna figure out who I was.
Someone is a smart cookie in your group.
Well, I don't know if it's so smart to plaster my face all over the Silver and Gold District, but it brings in the money.
Speaking of cookies, yes, Lindell.
Do you actually have cookies? I would like a cookie.
I figured you'd want some. I can rustle some up if you'd like.
That'd be lovely, actually. Yeah, and some tea. Oh, do you want a hand? I can help you.
Oh, no, not at all. Puts his fingers up to his ear. Let's bring them to the table. Thank you. They'll be along shortly. Now then.
I can rustle up cookies better than Edmund can rustle up cookies.
Have you thought about my...
Your proposal was either we could spend 200 and we could borrow a boat and go to Panopticon, or if we went to Panopticon and we had to rescue one of your friends when we rescue Othmal. But either way, we get a ship and a crew to go to Panopticon and try a rescue mission. Is that the proposal you're talking about?
Sounds very accurate.
I think first we should have cookies and tea, and then we'll think about it.
Very well. Just wait a moment longer. They'll be along shortly. Now then, I wouldn't be able to procure the ship and crew today. I might need some time. So you are free to do as you like, and I shall send for you.
Is there any chance of getting the hammer, though? Freeze.
Now, there's another option.
Yeah, but Jen, is the hammer, is that your ship? Is that the one that's impounded in the docks up in Harbortown?
But if we could get it out, and the crew is here, they're on the island. That's
Styx, the cat-like assassin that was hunting you earlier, comes over to the table and hops one leg over the end of the bench, puts an arm on the table, and stares in at you, Genevieve.
What are you doing?
Familiar.
I believe I know you, or you know someone I know. Now then, I am not a member of the crew of the Hammer any longer.
Any longer?
But one of my own is. I believe he goes by Monkey Toes. Monkey Toes.
Oh, yeah, she's adorable. She's currently... But, I mean, I don't want to assume all tabaxi are related. Like, how do you just know her, or wouldn't be sort of
We are in fact related.
what? No,
Strange coincidence, is it
it
not?
doesn't mention. You know, you stick, so you know all.
For a brief time. We did not see eye to eye.
That is just, are you letting us know this week? True.
I can't hear you, Brian.
Yeah, Brian, your microphone is cutting out. Either you need to be closer to it, or maybe up your output volume. Input volume? Output volume?
Or up your alcohol intake, one or the other.
Yes.
I'm
Put the
drinking-
microphone in your mouth.
I'm drinking vodka and apple cider.
Ew.
That
There's
sounds
cranberry
lovely.
in it too.
Mm.
It's quite a concoction.
Jenny, have you ever had American apple cider?
Is that okay now? Can you hear me?
It's so good.
No.
Oh yeah.
Better. We've got you, Brian.
Mm. You need to come in the fall, Jenny. Next Halloween. Fuck, American apple cider. It's gonna knock your socks off.
Is it sweet?
Yes. It's
Oh.
sweet and it's got cinnamon and it's delicious.
It sounds so
tastes-
good.
It tastes like Halloween.
Okay.
So
Now I understand why you're drinking it. My understanding of apple cider is like sour. And I was like,
Poor
that's
Brian's trying to
disgusting.
role play, and you guys keep
Sorry,
talking about cider.
I've got an hour and 10 minutes left, and I'm out of here. Just so you know. So keep that in mind, please.
I'm
Okay, go.
Who's
No, I'm
this
just
monkey
saying-
toes? What's this about
Are
monkey
you-
toes?
And the crew, our navigator, she's wonderful. But are you offering to join to come on a trip?
Oh, Monkey Toes is my sister.
Cute.
So you know she's on Liberty right now, then.
Yes. I suspected that you might be the one that was part of the Hammer crew with my sister. But I don't know you well. I did not trust you at first. That is why I came and brought you down here. To keep you out of the rest of the fight.
Well, I think it's worth telling you then that some of the crew is in trouble. I talked to the current captain. He said that they had run into some difficulties here too. I don't know if that includes your sister, but it might bear looking into.
It definitely does. For I know who Billy Campbell is as well.
Is this Billy Campbell? Is that who the assassin is that's out for Lilith?
Yes. I believe it's so. From what I hear from Lilith.
Who's Billy Campbell then?
A member of Othmar's crew.
Da, 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 da.
Am I Billy Campbell?
Genevieve, you remember there were a couple of there was a powder monkey and there was a apprentice barrel maker on the ship. You never really knew their names. They were just kind of like minor crew hand and apprenticeship type shipwrights. So you didn't really converse with them very much, but you suspect it's probably one of them.
God, it's got to be one of those new crew that we had taken on. Well, I mean, at least we'll recognize them then. This is a start.
I mean, what
It
kind
is
of a
a
name?
start,
is Billy
but
Campbell?
I only care about the safety of my sister, you see. Not so much about the crew of the Hammer.
So if your sister went back on the Hammer to go to Panopticon, you would come with?
Perhaps, if I am welcome.
Can you
Well, I
swim?
mean, you throw me.
Yes, I can swim.
You're a cat. Can cats swim?
What, Lindell?
She's just like, nope, I can't swim. Nope.
Ah.
No, Daphne knows
that
that
is
Lindell's not
unfortunate.
swimming.
Yeah.
That's fine.
The more
She doesn't mind
swimmers,
about
the
that.
better. But I am
Yeah.
trained in the arcane arts.
Yeah, and Styx, you're super powerful. You almost did us in with all those like fireballs and dimension doors. You're quite strong.
Yes, I am. Remember that.
Well, and the other thing is, I imagine, Edmund, from your side of it, you would want some of your people there, ensuring we can do their mission.
Another the smart detail.
Well, we have work to do. We need to get a boat together. We have some other things to take care of.
Yes, of course, and I can make the arrangements. All that I ask is you be available when I should call.
When's your date, you?
What? First off, the date doesn't matter. We can forget the date. What? Who? You all are just okay with just leaving Liberty? We have like 10 things to do. We owe people promises.
We have a time frame that I feel like we have to finish the whole thing with the hookah before we go on a boat, don't we?
And what about Xavier? We've been telling him for like 2 weeks that we'd go meet his mom.
I'm a bit frustrated with everyone right now.
Yeah, see? Xavier's a bit frustrated with all of us. Because we keep putting him off. We keep putting him off. And
it takes a while to procure a boat. We need to go to Mildred's now. Then we're supposed to go down to Xavier's mom's. And then, what? They want to kill us here. We need to get off this island.
Who wants to kill us?
I believe it is the black spot, the one that got this Billy Campbell.
I just
Wait,
got
so Billy
here.
Campbell, wait, Billy Campbell died, or Billy Campbell is the assassin?
Billy Campbell is dead. There's a black spot in his hand.
I was confused. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sometime in the evening.
Changed my notes.
Got to this island like 3 weeks ago. Nobody wants to kill me. Everybody loves me. The council loves me. Silver District loves me.
And I hope the Black Market, or the Black Market Society, rather, would like you too.
I have a question. Sorry, Seth, can you go ahead?
Oh no, I was just going to ask if this heist could wait for like 2 weeks. Or does it have to happen like right now?
He's not going anywhere, right? He's just in prison, he's fine.
I might
More
need
like
to
his
do things to bump myself up on your priority list.
They're not gonna kill him, right?
Oh, no. No. The one I want you to fetch? No.
On the scale of 1 to 10, the torture scale, how's he doing? Are we talking, is he on the racks? Is he getting poked with hot, like, pokers?
I cannot say. I do not have any contacts within the compound.
Why
I'm supposed to help Leomander find a sword.
I don't. You can use spells and stuff, right? Can't you scry on him, or are you already scrying?
I believe she can use spells and stuff.
Oh, you shut up. Sofkine's my best friend. She can talk however she wants. I don't actually know how to scry.
Not a magic user, okay? Yeah, her spells and stuff.
Lindell's the scryer.
I can scry. I'm kind of a little tapped out for today, but I can...
Lindell can scry.
No, I'm not talking about Lindell. I'm talking about you. Can't you use magic?
Me? Or you?
No, Edmund.
You.
I faded out there. I wasn't paying attention at all. Sorry, I just heard blah, 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 non-magic, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, God.
I still want to pitch you against my best fighter. Someday we'll get to see. In the meantime, what was your question?
Wait, what was the question?
Can you do magic?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Safkeen had asked if the heist could wait a bit, but then Edmund had said that there were things he could do to bump up him on the priority list.
Well, this is a pretty grand favor, to be honest. I mean, we are helping ourselves, but it's a big job for you. Do you think you could support us in helping to solve some of our problems?
We're a big organization. We can offer many things.
We would love to have some stealth support to get into Mildred's homestead. And then any way to expedite our way through the layers of Liberty would be wonderful.
Do you have experience points? Can you trade us some experience points for something?
Can we get off level?
I'm unfamiliar with these experience points.
Pretty much anything for some of those. That's.
I'm unaware.
Ability score improvement, please.
People don't
score
level up.
increases.
Games for children.
Games for children.
You read books, you practice, you get better.
Oh,
Jeez, I don't have time for that.
I mean, I think what we mean to say is that we have a very busy schedule. We owe lots of people a lot of promises.
Indeed. How much time do you need?
Well, Cat Colchester will be here in about
2 weeks.
On there somewhere.
Oh. That's a dice rolling. Days until Cat Colchester. Linda will. Cat will be here in about 2 weeks' time. At which point, then she can watch the house, and we can go on a boat somewhere.
Wait, Cat is coming here. You said 2 weeks?
Yeah, about so. 15 days, I think, is. We've been chatting. It's kind of like we're pen pals with friends.
That would be perfect timing. I would pay handsomely for some materials. I need to convince Kat to help me when she returns to the island.
Well, she's a very exclusive person, and we have first rights to her because we've been the ones organizing her trip back. So just
all I need is the laboratory in the mansion and Kat's help. But there are some ingredients I lack. If you would be willing to help with that as well, I'd kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
So you're saying Edmund, if we get you some ingredients and we connect you with Kat, then we're doing you a favor, so then you owe us one?
Yes. This is the favor. Edmund, would you be sending them through you know where? Yes, most likely. To evade the Spiralia Trading Company. It seems logical.
Underwear?
Otherwhere?
There is a place. I'm not supposed to tell you, but here's my leap of faith. It's called Gravestone.
Gravestone.
Pretty good name.
Like
tell me, do you have a map? Do you have a map of Spiralia by any chance?
I've got one here. Just a minute.
I've got the wine tour map.
You spread out. Spread out all your maps, and she's like, no, not these. This one, yes. Brilliant. This map of Spiralia. Where did you get this?
I paid an urchin on the street for it.
She holds the parchment up to the light, kind of the fire, and kind of looks through it, and then...
Oh, wait, this is the map of all the islands?
This is the map that you have from your parents, right?
I'd be like, my mom did this one.
Yes, okay. Your mother is very talented. There's
She
more here than we can see. Wait a minute, here, take this. She hands you back the map, and she pulls out a vial of white liquid, and a candle, and a flint and tinder, and she lights the candle, and pops the top off of the vial of white liquid. She says, "Well, here goes."
But
and she flattens the map down.
This is wait.
What?
This is the one thing that I have that my mom from my mother. What
Your
are you
mother
gonna do to
wants
it?
you to know more. Do you want to learn or not?
Well, you sounded a bit British there for a minute.
She is a bit British. I just haven't been doing the accent. I don't know why. Too many people. I have this one, and
I've had this map for years, and I've never seen anything different about it. What do you mean?
You're not seeing the full picture. May I?
You
Linda,
promise you
I
won't?
promise I
won't
will
break
not
it?
hurt it. No. It is meant to be done this way. Yeah, do you want to do it? She hands you the little vial of liquid.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it. What do I do?
No.
It's milk. Pour it on the map.
Milk?
Huh?
Pour it
Yes,
on the milk?
milk. Pour it on the map.
She'll put it down gently. Be like, I wish I was pouring this milk in some tea.
Just do it quickly.
She'll pour the milk on it.
She immediately puts her hands on it and starts smearing the milk all over the page. The ink does not blur, as she moves. In fact, you can see a little bit of translucence start to form in certain places on the map. She lifts it up and kind of flaps it off to get the liquid off and holds it up. Yes, almost there. Now, the flame. Here, I will hold it. Take the candle. Wave the flame underneath. Not too long, we do not want to burn it.
No,
now,
I'm
go.
just up.
Quickly, before the milk evaporates. As you hold the flame underneath the map, everything begins to solidify. There are new colors that start to form, almost like the ink was invisible, and you have a new map. I am going to send it to you in the messenger chat. One moment. I have to do this on my laptop.
Walk around with vials of milk on her. Why?
Well, I'm not an alchemist, but there is a secret technique in cartography. I employ it myself occasionally. It's to keep things hidden from those you wouldn't want to see it, but I imagine your mother would want you to see
She
this.
was a cartographer, and she was a rogue, so she did a sort of sneaking things, and she was good at Excuse me. Whew.
I can tell. Sorry, it's a little drafty in this cave, I know. It's miserable.
No, it's okay, but I've had that map for years. I never thought anything.
Well,
Wow.
your mother is rather crafty, isn't she? She knows a bit more than she leads on, I suspect.
Yeah, she probably would have loved the Black Market Society, so it would be right up her alley. But I mean, if she was around.
All right, here we go. Picture sending now. Did it send?
Not yet.
Hello?
Hello!
Why isn't it sending?
The last thing was
I want to send you guys a picture of this map that's on my desktop. It's right here. Choose.
Well, then send it.
Enter. There it goes. Shabam!
The text channel's gone. Oh, there it is.
It's in
Oh,
Messenger.
what is it being sent on? Messenger?
Messenger? Ah, you added color.
That's so cool.
Shablamo.
Oh, so these colors like raise up on the map that Lindell already had?
Yes. Yeah, this is what you guys...
It's so pretty. I know there's all sorts of other new symbols on it.
Yep. There we go. Yeah, I've got it up on my screen so the camera can see it. So yeah, the various colors kind of illuminate hidden text in the milk and the flame, and you can see it. It's brilliant now, but it's slowly fading as the heat and the milk begin to dry and kind of go back to room temperature. But you can see in between each island, there is a path and description of exactly how long the trip takes. But you know that there are different kinds of ships that probably have different speeds, but this is kind of a baseline, maybe for a medium speeded ship. And then there's all of these swirls in between all of the streams. You're not sure exactly what they are, but I would say Safkeen or Genevieve, you could roll a history check to see if you know what those are.
Roll.
Okay.
Histoire.
You would also be able to do this history check.
Oh, right.
Wait. What's this in the bottom corner?
I rolled a 10.
I got it.
Oh, in the bottom right. The bottom
It says
right is
KP.
Kit's. Yeah, it's Kit Peacock. It is canon now that Kit Peacock is your mother.
My history's a 22.
Whoa.
That's
History
better.
22. Okay, that's high enough for all of you guys to kind of figure it out if you want to tell them. These are devil whirls. It's a giant whirlpool in between two opposing streams that'll suck anything into it, including ships. And you pretty much want to stay clear of these. If you hit one, you're a goner.
I'll say, oh, yeah, I've had these explained to me. These are devil whirls.
And you can notice that those walls, kind of those embankments that are half circular, There's 3 of them, I think, on the map. They're all built to kind of trap in the area around those devil whirls so that you can transfer streams. They're called the hyperstream arcs.
Great.
Yeah,
And
the
there's one around
hyperstring arcs.
Portugal and one over going north from it, right? Northwest.
Right. There's one just kind of south of Panopticon, in between the hyperstream going inward and the hyperstream going outward. So that
What are they called again? Sorry?
the hyperstream arcs.
Hyperstream arcs.
They all have their own names. So if you guys learn those at some point, I'll tell you the names of all of them. But yeah, you can see pretty much the sailing distances and traps, basically, of the entirety of Spiralia. All the trade streams.
Wow, my mom was so good at making maps. This is so cool.
She had quite an encyclopedic knowledge of the terrain of the Spiralian Ocean.
She was super smart. They spent a lot of time on the ocean, and then they just disappeared. They just didn't come back from one of their adventures one day.
Your parents disappeared?
Yeah. The last I heard was they were chasing some kind of weird ship thing that they were chasing. I don't even remember.
Ship. Interesting. Most likely the Teachians. They were probably after the information. Same reason all of my plans. I had to go into hiding and send them back and forth between here and Forgefall to avoid those same bastards from confiscating my work.
Do you think the Teachians hurt my parents?
Could have. I haven't heard anything about a skilled cartographer being picked up, but I've been in hiding myself.
This was a number of years ago that they disappeared, probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years. I'm sorry, I don't know any more information.
Alright, if you hear anything about an amazing cartographer named Bree Tealeaf, that's my mum.
Bree Tealeaf.
Or Rurik Fireforge, that's my dad. They traveled together, they were adventurers.
Fireforge. I don't recall, but I will keep my ears open.
I've looked around Spiralia, like Librany, and I've never found any clues as to where they are or what. But
it's mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll do what I can to help. And now then, Kat. Kat is coming.
Yeah.
We could really use your mother's help, probably, Lindell, but myself and Kat, I have a project that I need her help with. And there are some ingredients I would like to procure for this endeavor, if you'd be willing to help as part of your journey to, well, the Outer Islands. You see now this purple area in the north of the map, where it says 2 days, 2 nights. This is the trip from Panopticon to Eluxia. And in the waters between this outer stream and the ingoing stream, there is a place known as Gravestone. The protrusions, volcanic protrusions from the water, look like tombstones out in the ocean. And they are guarded by a devil whirl, as you can see on the map. So most folks that try to sail in would be sucked into the devil whirl unless you are privy to the locations of safe passage between the stones. And in lies a pirate haven, known as Gravestone. I believe we can get what I seek on Gravestone from one of the various black market traders that does business there. It would be on your return trip if you would be willing to go there. Or perhaps on the way there, if you could find a way to transfer streams.
9.
Do you know the routes to go to get to Gravestone through the Devil Whirl?
I unfortunately do not. I know rumors, but I have not been granted access to the island in some time.
But Osmal would.
Myself and the Grave Lord have a bit of an argument, feud, ongoing for several years.
And is this, sorry, who's this talking? Is this Edmund or Lilith talking?
Lilith, and Edmund pipes in, and which is why our arrangement needs to be shored up as well, if you don't mind. Yes, I'll make my absence this evening.
And I'm sorry, Edmund really wants to talk to Kat, or Lilith really wants to talk to
Lilith. This has all been Lilith saying this stuff.
Oh, okay, so she's the one who wants help getting ingredients and stuff like that.
He's being Edmund. If he's not going like this, he's being Lilith.
Yeah,
I keep going back to I keep going to my notes page and taking notes. Okay, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Breaking immersion. Okay, here we go.
You is counting numbers in her head. How long is it? It looks like about a 2-week trip.
To Panopticon, it looks like 6 days, 5 nights.
Yes, if you take the route.
What?
If you take the route
south
to Seon,
you
you could sail to Seon in about 3 days. 3 days.
You can't read a map.
We can go to Seon, and then we can continue from Seon past the Arch.
Which would be another 3.5 days travel.
Yeah,
Wait a second. David?
Yeah.
Is this Panopticon? Look at my hand. Is this Panopticon?
No,
Where's Panopticon?
Seon is the island in the south with the volcano. That is Seon. Or no, oh my god, no, Forgefall. I've been using the
One second. I'll post a map.
Whatever it is,
Wait,
okay.
is this Panopticon?
You have to kind of look to the side of Tichio. To the left of Tichio.
All right, we'll start at the center of the map.
Here, Seda, I'm posting a photo for your reference.
Okay,
yes,
wait.
this is the new map that Kit drew that I've been migrating to.
There we go.
Yeah,
okay.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Oh, I thought Panopticon was way out where Melendor is. Okay. 6 days. Gotcha.
All right.
So we could go to Forgefall in 3 days, 2 nights, and then from Forgefall we could make it to Panopticon in another 3 days, 3 nights. I wonder if the color has anything to do with it, because she used black ink on the outside and then blue ink a little bit further and then red ink in the middle.
Maybe that's speed? Speed of the spiral?
Yes, this I do know. There are 3 different speeds, I guess, of tide, of the current on the spiral. Until you get to the inner islands, the speed is actually increased. So even though the distance may be as far, the time has shortened a little bit.
Gotcha.
It also becomes a little bit more dangerous to enter rocky areas or navigate streams. This is called the hyperstream. We are in the mercurial trade stream currently. This is probably what most of you are familiar with, except for you, Safkeen. Do you come from Triton?
Is my place called Triticus?
Sorry, Triticus, the small island. Sea elves and Tritons on land tend to habitate there. I see you are land, so I figured. Then you would know the Halcyon Sea. It lies beyond the slowest stream. There is no current. It's a dead sea. So yes, the streams become weaker as you travel outward.
Would you be coming with us, Lilith, or are you going to stay here?
I am not welcome on Gravestone.
He's coming home with us, right?
I would stay here.
No, to Panopticon. Or either.
I don't believe my services would be help to you in that sort of situation. I can be more help from afar. If my work and Kat's willing to help with my work can continue, I would be willing to make things for you. Have
we
you...
need to make sure you as well.
like more of your weird devices that burn hands.
Are any of you privy to a school of magic known as Edification?
Safkin will look at Xavier.
I am a student of this new school of magic.
Has you ever heard of it as a wizard?
Roll a history check for me.
Oh.
Building.
A 4 + 4. It's an 8.
You have never heard of this.
What does this do? This edification thing.
Edification was taught to me by my master. Kat was a student of his as well when we were...
What was the master's name?
Why are you so eager to know?
Kat's one of my best friends now, so I just want to know more about her.
Sure she is. Roll a deception check.
Let's see. Deception. 14?
Insight.
Sorry, you seem strangely interested. I think I'll keep that information. Need to know. But Kat and I were both students of this form of magic, in order to employ it for the use of the Izzet Guild and the Liberty Mining faction as well. Most of our work was in developing and codifying this new school of magic, perhaps unlocking new ways of employing it.
And what is this school of magic about? Do you create things? Do you merge things? Do you bring them to life?
Do you put them on pedestals?
Interestingly enough, yes. That's pretty accurate. There's a little bit of nuance to it. Now, again, this is a very new school of magic, only been around for a couple generations. So we are still working on figuring the whole thing out, but I assume some of you are familiar with enchantment. Probably have some enchanted items on you currently, myself included. Edification differs. Go ahead, yes?
No, I was just going to say, Safkin is pretty enchanting, isn't she?
Just go bright red and scowl at you.
Roll a persuasion check.
I wish I had like guidance or inspiration or something. Persuasion.
Please roll.
I mean, there is a bard in the world, but
What? I'm not paying attention.
Would you like to help Lindell try to sell Safkin's allure to Lilith?
No.
Nope. Not involved in that. Not involved in that at all. The bard has abandoned you.
You is scowling.
Well, either just a straight roll, I got a 17. So.
17. Yes, she is alluring. I've never met a Triton quite like this one. Now then, where were we? Edification, right. Enchanting is a little bit different. You take a mundane item like a ring or a necklace, breastplate, and you put something on it, an enchantment, a spell, so that it will do something like protect you or make you resistant to something. Edification differs in that we are not imbuing a single item with a spell. We are creating something that can create its own magic, if that makes sense. Safkin, you would be familiar with one. This was my first edified object.
I don't understand what it does. So you hear voices. Are they real voices? Are the voices generated by the magic, or are you tapping into someone somewhere else?
You mentioned using a sending stone to contact Cat, correct?
Yeah,
Of course.
we have it somewhere, I'm sure.
Do you have it on you?
You has it. I think she just stepped out though. It was a bit
Yes,
much.
I've noticed. Maybe she needed some fresh air. Anyway,
Maybe she was looking for the tea and cookies.
Since she's gone, I'll go ahead and take it out and show you. I don't want her to get mad and throw it in the ocean again. This ball, if you look closely on the inside, you see a stone. Do you not?
Yeah, it's blue.
It looks different than the one you have, does it not?
It doesn't have a stone in it. It's just like an ear on a rock kind of thing.
Yes, similar but different. Do you see a symbol on this one? Roll a perception check if you'd like to see the symbol.
I want to see it.
Why not?
I wanna know. Can you show me?
17.
17, 21, and
14.
14. Everybody except Lindell, you can make out there is a carved spiral in the center. Just a very crude spiral that's carved into the center of this rock. So similar to the ear on the other one, this one has a spiral. Now, this is a sending stone, but it is not connected to another one. Its counterpart has been destroyed. So up until recently, this was just a regular rock. But I have turned it into something else.
What did you?
So what does it tap into then?
With some practice, if I'd like, the next time you call Cat Colchester, I could listen in. Eavesdrop.
It's an intercepting stone.
It's called the eavesdropping stone. It's of my own creation.
Please. So
I believe that
Othmol.
I believe that Othmol might have access to one as well. You mentioned he contacted you?
Well, I contacted him.
Did you? Interesting. So,
No, but he also spoke to Lindell, didn't he? Oh, I don't
No,
remember.
it was with you. It's funny because you got a lot of messages that day. That was yesterday afternoon. Because one was from Miss Hoity-Toity Council, super awesome lady, whatever. And then the other was through Cat Sending Stone, but it was Othmal's voice, and it was all like, "Help me! I'm Othmal! Panopticon!"
tell me, Safkeen, when you first grasped the stone, did you not hear voices in a similar pattern? A little bit of static. Difficult to make out.
Yeah, at first.
At first, and then?
And then I concentrated more, and I heard some actual voices.
With clarity.
You saying like eavesdropped on someone? That's
exactly what I'm saying.
not very cool. Who did I eavesdrop on?
I'd have no idea. Like I said, with some practice, you can get better at focusing on the right voices, so to speak.
Whose voices did I hear?
I have no idea.
What did you?
I'm sure it was a lovely conversation. Every once in a while, you hear something more interesting.
Oh, so I could just be eavesdropping on some random people.
That's most likely what happened.
Well,
it's not for everyone.
We have a tour to do. I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's an old man still waiting with a buggy for us. And now we have to do
so late.
Lindell, what time is it?
It is. She looks at the orb of time.
It's about 10:30.
It's about, I don't know numbers, but it's 10:30.
It's mid-morning. It's second
Good
breakfast.
morning. Yes.
She can't read.
It's almost time for 11Cs.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I hope we paid him enough to stick around.
Yeah, weirdly enough, Lindell, you can feel the time in your stomach. So you look at you're looking at the orb, and the orb is telling you something, but you can't read it. But then you can feel it in your stomach. It's
Yeah, 2 hours
almost time
later.
to eat again.
Almost time for 11Cs. Yep. Okay, we should probably get going. So Edmund, we will perhaps we'll consider your thoughts about going to Panopticon. We're a little occupied at the moment, but we will consider your offer and we'll think about which ship we want to take. And we'll get back to you. What's the best way to contact you, get a hold of you? Do you have a business card?
You're crafty individuals. I'm sure you'll figure out a way.
You don't have
Krampus
like
over here,
a
they'll just shoot them.
put a note on this lamppost at 2 p.m. and I will always receive it or something like that.
I'll leave it up to you. I'm sure you'll think of something very interesting.
So I'm just gonna paint Edmund We're Ready all over Silver District.
There
You'll
you
love
go.
it.
And I'll see it, and the message will be very clear.
So
He's gonna love it.
We leave for our journey.
Tell me, very quickly, before you head out, are you planning on doing this? May I start making some preparations for you?
I'm coming back with them or without them.
Very well. I will begin my preparations. Take your time. And I will help prioritize your time if I get impatient.
Lilith, are you coming back to the Colchester mansion?
Well,
Yes.
I can if you'd have me.
Come with us on the wine tour. I'm sure there's room.
There is a bounty out for me.
That's fine.
Oh.
Doesn't someone have a hat of disguise or something?
I might be able to whip something up here. Let me have a look.
It's a little bit hard to hide my personality. I'll just put it that way.
Well, but I have a disguise kit. We could put a wig on you and change your makeup, and as long as we hide all the shiny things, you'll be fine.
What would you like to look like? Lilith.
I
sorry,
like
not
the way
Kiss.
I look.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to look
Well,
a way that
I like the way I
people
look
won't
too.
recognize me.
Jen's gonna lick her fingers and start rummaging over her bells.
Okay.
And give me 2 seconds. Keep talking for a minute while I'm getting ready to cast a spell, please, because it's gonna take me a second.
Which, Lilith, you have very distinct tattoos on your arm. Can you hold out your arm? Can I see?
Yes. She pulls back her cuff a little bit, and you can see that the tattoos that are up her arms are almost like, to you it looks like something mechanical, like gears, but roll a perception check for me.
All of us would sit down.
23.
23.
Ooh.
It's not ink. It looks more like a brand. Like something is seared into the flesh on her arm. And you recoil a little bit because it's a little bit gruesome. But then as you get farther back, it just looks like a tattoo.
That looked like it's smarted. What happened? Or how did you get it?
This is a side effect of my school of magic.
It's not like you got it from the pharaohs or something like that.
No,
'Cause
no.
You has tattoos too. Look, you show her your tattoos.
No, I'm just keeping my
Yeah, that's
roll down my
quite
sleeve.
all right. You don't have to show me.
Nosy.
Oh, I've got it. I have an idea. So, Lilith, this will only last for about 8 hours, but that should get us through the wine tour and back to the house, if you're okay with having a different appearance.
Sure.
All right, so
Stuff you would
Jen's
listen,
got her bell.
wait, Am I
Nope,
supposed to go to this wine tour with you?
Absolutely. We just need to solve a few.
I don't
small-
like being around a lot of people. This is about the most I can handle.
Yeah, good. We'll
Those
just
to
lock
be
her in the room. she's not part of the plan. We'll lock her in the room. You just like scooted up, left the table,
I worry a bit about the ties the Hopspillers may have to the council.
We still need to get you home somehow, and I think disguising you is probably the best way.
I agree with Jen.
Okay. If you can get me back without anyone seeing me.
Oh, they're going to see you. You.
I'll have to have a cover.
Is it just one person that you're doing this to, Jen?
I'm starting casting already, and singing. Change without warning happens so fast. We be when you need to be and make it last. While the faces may differ, don't ever lose sight, because we're still here as one in our secret life. And poof, she turns into... Oh, I found the best disguise ever for her.
Oh, is it going to be in the messenger chat?
Yeah, it's John Malkovich dressed as Locke.
Aww!
Where is it? Oh my gosh.
Yes! Log lady!
Yeah, she looks like Log Lady. Even holding the log and everything.
But
and
Malkovich.
This is odd.
Sucking will
so old.
It's fine though. You can keep your voice still, and no one will suspect anything.
I guess that's true.
Sucking will lean into Jen and be like, "She'll turn back in 8 hours, right? Right?
Yep, let's go."
Yes. Well, we have 8 hours, so. Wonderful. I'll have you out of my hair a little sooner than expected. Now then, make your leave. Would you like to teleport out? Do you know of another place with a teleportation circle?
Is there one in the Hopsmiller estate?
No, there isn't. Not that we found yet.
None that I'm privy to.
Do you know anything about teleportation circles?
Know about them, but we didn't see anything in the Hopsmiller estate.
If you'd like to get to the castle, is that where you're headed? The castle, the meadery?
First, we have to go pick up a ride.
A ride.
I mean, the ride is to get us inside. If you can just take us inside.
Perfect.
Oh, you want me to take you inside the castle?
Yeah, to teleport us in. Is there not a circle in there?
That place is a fortress that even I don't want to go in. It's worse than Panopticon.
Really?
You really want to go in there?
Yes.
Into Mildred's
I can.
soul.
Will this make you come back to me sooner?
Yep.
It would help, hopefully.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Which one of us?
Any of you.
Charismatic.
One of you can roll with advantage,
I vote
or two
Jen.
of you can roll.
That would be a good choice.
Okay. I have a +4.
Okay, so Lindell and Genevieve.
Do it.
Lindell, do you want your advantage?
No, just regular. Or advantage if you want.
Yeah, if we can get Jen rolling with advantage, let's do that. She'll probably much better than me.
So Jen with advantage.
Well, I rolled well for the first one anyway, so yeah. 18 plus 6, I think we're doing okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow, 24. I do know someone. Maybe. That can help. I'll make a call. You'll get inside the inner wall.
Ooh,
That's
right.
the best I can do. You're on your own from there.
So we need to head back to the meadery first then, yes?
Where should we meet your person?
They'll find you.
I propose we get back to the meadery and leave Lilith there. I feel like she'll be safest in the room for a while. And maybe, Xavier, if you want to leave some... Can you root things? Can you close doors and stick some pieces of you in it or something? Maybe we can lock her in and then...
I can try.
Sapkin's like, I volunteered to stay with Lilith and guard her. Yeah.
Kane, we need your fists.
Well,
potentially.
I can send you back to the Arcane University. That's the best I can do quickly. Instantly.
No, we don't want to go to the arcade.
That's too far. No, we might just have to hoof it, I think.
Yeah, this is
Right. I recommend
Unless you can,
turning
like-
into something that can fly.
Yeah, unless you can like polymorph us all into like giant eagles or something like that.
Let me see what I can do. I've used some spells on you today already. Let me see what I have left.
Ooh, the door to knowledge. I'm the great magic user. You're gonna be so helpful to you.
What?
That thing. Use over adjusting her jacket just over in the corner, talking to herself.
All right.
Did we ever get the tea and cookies?
Eventually, Fathom brought down a plate and took the lid off while you guys were talking. You were so involved in the talking, you didn't even notice there's a platter of cookies and tea right in front of you, and you scarf them down as you finish up your plans. And Edmund looks through his spell book to see what he's got at his disposal.
Did you say this time would count as a short rest of us sitting and chatting? Ooh, what is it?
I can polymorph 3 of you.
Ooh, that would be perfect.
Yeah, I can polymorph 3 of you. It'll
Something
take
will feel in
a
now.
moment, but yeah, I can do it.
I'm small, so I can be a rider because I'm not heavy.
Oh, that's true.
We're gonna be big eagles or giant owls?
If you're gonna be big eagles, I recommend flying out through here, not going back through the sunken city.
How is this? How are we going to break the spell though if you're concentrating on it?
Give us 10 minutes and then drop
Yeah, that
concentration.
could work. You could do 10 minutes. Although a flight, let me think. If you go out,
Go.
yeah,
Around the
you
water,
could you
up
could go you could go out my exit and up and back over to the meadery. 10 minutes would be cutting it close, but maybe
15 then? 15 minutes?
yeah, 15 works.
Okay. All right.
Let's do 13 and a half.
Minutes?
That should be exactly right, because if you're seen outside the castle as 3 giant eagles, that might be a big... What the fuck is this?
Then we'll say, we're 3 giant eagles.
With people riding on them. Anyway, I'll leave it up to you after that. 13 and a half minutes.
Just a minute, and she'll like sync up her orb of time, so she can like call out when time's almost up. There were a lot of like sunken ships in the bay when we came in, and there was like a big shark or something.
Yeah.
Is it safe to send a boat off? Is it safe to send a boat off from here?
Don't worry, we have our own cove.
Okay.
That's where you're gonna fly out. You'll see it.
Yeah, like we wouldn't have a concept of where his exit is, right? Because we went into an underground area.
It will put you out around about a half mile up the coast.
So not at the sunken city. We're gonna come up from the sunken. Okay.
No, the exit is, like I said, a half mile up the coast towards the southern entrance. So you'll have to fly up over the peak that's there, over the Centaur Forest, through some of the fields to get to the meadery.
Well, you a top-down view from Krampus's eyes, so she'll just lead. We'll just.
Yep.
She'll have a.
Oh yeah, you've been everywhere except for through this passage to get out to the outside of.
So I will lead us without going over the meadery, around back to the place. I mean, without going over the castle, because I've seen it all
so
from the top before.
You
okay,
will be
so
the,
if you
the
look at
head
this,
bird.
Okay. So who else? Who am I polymorphing?
Me?
I mean, I've never been a bird before.
You and Genevieve?
And
So we
Savior
need,
or
right?
South King?
Oh.
Yeah, one more. Because one of you has to take Lilith. Lilith, do you want to be? No, thank you. Safkeen? Alright, so Safkeen, Genevieve, and Lindell. No,
Safkeen won't
you.
take Lilith anywhere.
Okay, got it. Alright, you guys ready?
Yep.
Shabam, you're a giant eagle.
Woo!
Shabam. Genevieve, you're a giant eagle. Shabam. Safkeen is a giant eagle. After some waving of hands and a little bit of speech and weird somatic signs, he turns you all into gigantic eagles. Lindell and Xavier and Lilith are left. Right.
Lindell will like start her timer, and just before she climbs on top of you, she'll mention, Fathom, just I'm sorry about the whole memory thing. You were trying to kill us, so there's that.
Yes,
anyways, I'm glad we resolved it without hurting each other. It was nice to meet you guys.
It is fine.
You launches in the air.
Styx gives you an evil glare. He's like, it is not fine. And
Nice
then
to meet you, Styx.
Lilith grabs a little bit of the kind of pink down feathers that are on, like almost a stripe on the back of Safkeen's eagle. She grasps them and gets ready. This is like an old adventure. Well, I'm off. Thank you, Edmund. She hops on your back. Yes, goodbye. Have fun storming the castle.
Have fun storming the castle.
All right, and then Xavier hops on the back of Genevieve and wraps some of his roots around, and you guys take off. Says, yes, go south out of the tunnel. It'll lead you to the exit. Half mile. So if you look at the Hops Miller Wine Country map, you guys begin to flap your wings and take off, rising up in this cavern. You lift off towards the ship, all flying as your companions grasp your backs, you in the lead.
Towards the ship. Where are we, down here?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
If we're birds, do we know how to fly as birds, or are we ready?
Yeah, you guys know how to fly. You get a fly speed. Your intelligence is a little bit lower, but you have a mission and a clear path, so it's not like you're gonna get distracted by something. You'll be fine. And you have really good vision.
Trying to learn to fly, and we were like, oh no.
Yeah, you're fine. You guys know how to fly now that you're birds. You have the fly speed. You're a little wobbly at first, except for you. What's that?
We're coming up between the Sunken City and Mount Ducket, somewhere along there on the coastline. Is that right?
Underneath the Centaur Forest, beneath the surface of Liburny somewhere, you are taking a secret kind of underground river tunnel that leads to a pirate cove that is 1/2 mile south down the coast from the Sunken City. So you lift up off the surface, flying past the ship that is kind of docked outside of this cavern, past the waterfall. You turn to the right, and all of you swoop down into this kind of dark cavern. Lindell and Lilith and Xavier, except for Xavier's not really afraid. The rest of you are kind of like, it's hard to see, it's windy, there's mist in your face, whereas the eagles expertly fly in tandem, skimming above the water down this winding tunnel in the darkness, as eventually a little bit of light can be seen at the end of the tunnel, and you emerge in this cove down here. There is a tunnel and a small beach, and the beach is hidden between these two giant pillars of stone that almost wrap around to where you can't even see the beach, but there's just enough room for a ship to sail through. And this beach has a staircase that is carved into the side of the mountain so that from the coast it's actually obscured. You can't see the steps because they're behind this kind of peak of rock, and they go up to a doorway, a metal doorway that you suspect leads to that other doorway in the tunnel when you first entered through the Sunken City. And from there you not dive, the opposite of dive. You begin to climb up,
Ascend,
gaining altitude as you hug the side of the cliffs, and eventually you can see the tops of trees as you arc over and begin to fly toward the sun, I guess, to the east. Kind of blinds you a little bit as you begin to soar over the centaur forest and through the fields back to the meadery. At this point, it's probably been about 12 minutes, and you are flying over the rolling hills and fields. Lindell's cheeks are flapping in the breeze, as now you can feel the bitter cold. Even though the sun is right in your face, it is freezing cold as you cling onto the feathers. The eagles, you're fine. You guys, no problem. Cold-blooded. You begin
I love
to
the thought that
fly.
each of us have like different colored plumage. So like Safine has like pink plumage, and then Genevieve has like either white or purple plumage, and then you obviously have black plumage.
You looks like
I thought she'd be black, but she wouldn't because she's pale as fuck.
Yeah,
be like an albino bird.
No, you looks like a giant version of Krampus.
Oh.
So more like a falcon, but still a giant eagle. And you figure that Edmund probably did that out of a little bit of pity for your bird that his minions killed.
You will never forgive.
And you guys swoop back down to the meadery, kind of stopping at the valley of one of the cresting hills that leads up the side to the meadery so that you guys can be a little bit more stealthy. But the eagles are still in eagle form for another maybe 20 seconds or so.
Okay, so
20
I'm going to touch
seconds
down.
until eagle out everyone off.
I'm definitely going to land down and let Lindell off. Don't want her to just like fall off my back when I try.
Yeah, you guys all kind of like lean your heads down so that everyone can drop off of you safely. And eventually, whoosh, everyone goes back to their normal appearance. Whew. It's cold. The ground is crispy. The sun is just starting to arc up enough over the hills that you can see the frost melting on the hillsides that are a little taller to the west. And it's a straight shot up to the backside of the meadery, where there's that kind of wooden staked wall. I'll go to that map.
Dusting herself off. Well, I can say that I'm disappointed in all of you.
What's wrong? What do we do?
What?
What do we do?
Wait, you're disappointed in me too?
Yes. No, wait. I had no expectations for you.
Excellent. Let's keep it that
The
way.
rest of you.
Unless it's inventing something.
The next time somebody draws us into a dank cave with the idea of like infinite knowledge, we don't go. Now we owe somebody something. We don't even know their motives.
We told you didn't have to come. You chose to come. So
it was all or nothing. I'm a critical thinker, Safkeen. Okay,
I thought it was pretty fun.
I thought it was fun too.
I got this guy, and he shakes a little vial of powder.
You's gonna start stomping towards the meadery.
what is that powder?
It's residuum powder. It blocks magic.
Oh yeah.
They used it in the prison.
That's pretty cool. You can
yeah, I think it's really cool. I want to mix it with like blood and flesh.
I like that idea, Xavier. And I'm gonna tell
you. I think we could get along real well.
Xavier and I do get along real well.
That's true. You're like good mad scientist.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship, he says, putting on a pair of goggles and looking at the...
I'm gonna tell our tour guide that you were all hungover and stupid. And that's why we're late.
My blood figure.
Wait.
Jen?
What's that, Jen?
Sorry, what, Jen?
I have your hair.
And my blood.
Yeah, I've got those things. Maybe I'll use them.
Xavier, shut up. Jen's talking. Jen?
I don't want to talk anymore. I just need to pop out for a second, if that's okay. It'll just be a moment. I just need to run across the way.
Oh yeah, of course, just run across the way.
We don't need to roleplay this, but she's just gonna go to the glass blowers and come back.
Okay, yeah, you run up to the glass blower, and you can get the glass beads that were waiting for you.
Oh.
He mentions you're a little bit late. I think the cart might be waiting.
Oh my god,
I
I
have a
hangover.
Drank a little bit too much meat last night.
It was a rough night. Thanks, it's so wonderful though.
Don't worry, it happens.
Aw.
Here's your beads and stuff. Thank you. Come again.
Poor little cab driver guy. What was his name again? I don't remember.
Rajuin.
Rajuin.
I just looked it up. Hey, David, I know this is like super after the fact, but
Mhm.
could I roll a sleight of hand to pocket it, either like the teaspoon or the teacup or something? From that,
Yeah,
and then I was thinking about it, but then I was waiting for the tea to arrive, and then I forgot to mention it. Is that okay?
Yeah. Hang on.
We all know Lindell's a little klepto.
Yeah.
That would have happened.
100%. It was either pocket a teaspoon or teacup or try to get something out of the crates. So I figure this is probably the best.
If I was the
Okay.
DM,
Go ahead and roll your sleight of hand.
Multi-class as a rogue.
Oh
Say
my
again?
goodness.
You need to
What's that,
multi-class
Brian?
as rogue.
That's the plan. Is that next
Yeah.
level? Is that she'll be dirty 20?
Dirty 20? Okay. Yeah, you can pocket a teacup, a spoon, a few cookies. You even try to get the platter, but it won't quite fit in your bag, and no one seems to notice.
Oh, okay. So teacup, teaspoon, platter, and cookies. Awesome.
Okay, yeah, but the platter won't fit. You can't really find a place to put it, so you
Just like
end up...
hide it under my cloak, or like.
Oh, yeah, you can try to like put it under your arm and like walk, but it's like a shield for you. It's huge.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool.
Okay, so you start wearing it like a shield.
Well, you know, like have it half out of my backpack and have a shield. Maybe I'll outfit the cookie platter to be like the outside part of my shield.
Okay, yeah. You try to like make it. Yeah, this is. Yeah, it's part of my shield. And as you guys get ready to leave, and you hop on the back of Falcon Eagle, Fathom, when you turn back to talk to him, holds out a hand. Those are not your belongings.
I'll give him back the platter.
The
And the cup.
I
No.
give him back the teacup.
You takes off. Can't give anything back. I launched fast. Remember, he was still talking. I launched off.
Yep. Right. So you launched off. You got to keep the spoon and the cookies.
That's the best.
He's the only one with a high enough passive perception to have seen that. Stealthy guys.
Well,
All right.
When we
So
land, Safkin will
Yeah.
pull out her packed lunch and pull out whatever pudding she's made and pass it to Lindell.
Ooh, thank you.
If you're hungry.
I'm gonna use
While,
that spoon.
Yeah.
so while you, because I didn't realize Genevieve's gonna run off the glass blower, but when we were stomping back to the meadery,
Mhm.
like, what do you guys want me to tell Rajuin? We're gonna wait for Edmund's guy, right? For some sort of message.
No. He's gonna meet us at the castle or something like that. So we just go. He's gonna find us.
He'll find us.
Okay. All right.
Safkin will pass out food to
I need
Genevieve.
to
And
go into hiding.
Go into the room. You'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll give her a key to the room. Somebody march her to the room. Xavier takes her to the room.
All right. Yeah. Xavier accompanies her. Okay.
Sapke!
Safkin's gonna come along.
Safkin will give the rest of her homemade packed lunch to Lilith in case she gets hungry.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll enjoy it in the room. Safkin. Right. Shall we go, Xavier? Yeah, let me take you up there. Okay, come on. They start crunching their way up the hill. Xavier leads her to the room with the packed lunch, and then comes back up to the main entrance to meet you guys. As you come up, you can see that Rajuin's cart is still there. The horse is attached. It looks like he was ready to go, but he's not around.
Oh, he got bored and left us.
Oh, look around, look around. Just
Yeah,
poke
you
our
guys,
heads in.
you head on in past the ceramicist to the stable and guardhouse, and there's a little tiny outhouse with the door shut behind it. And you hear a woo! And then the door opens up, and you see Rajuan putting his overalls back on. Oh, don't go in there!
Oh, Rajuan, I remember why we chose you.
Right, we're a little late. You must have had quite a night last night. Drink a little bit too much mead, did we?
Yeah,
So
that's it.
hungover. Oh,
Yeah,
the
don't
headache
worry,
is
it happens
splitting.
all the
Oh
time.
dear, yes.
Yeah, he has no idea. Don't worry, it happens all the time. Right now, if you hop on in, we can go around to the backside and see if my friend will let us in.
Okay, we'll just wait for Xavier to come back.
I remembered Thomas asking about this, and I don't remember if you gave an answer, David. But when we were chilling with Thingy and Edmund and Lilith, did that count as a short rest for us?
Yeah, it did.
Nice.
Sure. So everybody gets a short rest.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
get my
gosh,
kid
I'm missing hit dice. Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
need that.
So do your short rest if you have if you regain a spell slot from whatever feature or class trait that is, and then HP. You can roll your hit dice to regain HP. And that might be a good place to take a break. Brian, how much time do you have?
I gotta go back to it.
Yeah. Okay, so short rest, you guys make it back to the meadery. Lilith is safe in the room, and you guys are ready to head out with Rajuan to the castle. Since we are gonna be down 2 players, I think we should probably end there and then resume next week. So Xavier makes his way back. Lilith's not with you guys, so it's just the main core group of Short Expectations. Is there anything anybody wanted to do before you head off to the castle? And Brian, if you have to head out.
Yeah. Now that everybody's back, though, I'm going to hand out the glass beads on little leather bracelets that I got made of different colors for everybody. They were hand-blown, just to match your beret.
And I believe you have some pictures. So if you'd like to share that with the group later and show them exactly what colors and what they actually looked like.
Now we have to break your sugar daddy out of the Panopticon. Quit being so nice, Genevieve.
We definitely have to.
He made everyone berets, and Jen didn't even want to be my wing woman. So,
I was just reading the room, and it seemed like other people didn't necessarily want you to be flirting. Okay, bye, guys.
Very nice. Nice exit. All right, so is there anything you want to do at the meadery before you guys head out?
You wants to just, to the group, say, like, how are we going to break into a fortress that's built like a prison? I don't think we've really discussed that.
Yeah, no, and because we think the hookah might be in there, but we have no idea where in there it is. And I cast Locate Object, and I didn't get anything from the castle. So either it's super underground, or in a lead box, or it's not in there. So it's
try my monk sonar, maybe.
That's true.
Yeah, that could maybe work.
Does that work through lead?
I went back. Yeah.
So, Safkeen, I have written the rules for that ability now. It is on your character sheet.
Because I'm sure if somebody has a magical object that they want to hide, they would know the limitations of Locate Object, right? They would put it in the lead box or a lead chamber. Or...
Right, but as far as we're aware, Prunus was talking to us, and Mildred... As far as Prunus knows, Mildred didn't necessarily know that the hookah was magical, just that it was an artifact, just that it was old.
Still, I bet they have some sort of family treasure crypt. These rich people always do. So,
yeah, which brings a good question of: do we try to get into the little church kind of building, or do we aim for the main stronghold itself?
Do you want to look at the flyby map real quick?
Yeah, what little church building?
Let's see.
You loves a crypt. If there's a crypt option, she's
So there
You
is
just
the
did the gravestone really badly.
yeah.
And then
so it is a
So is this an actual crypt, like a family crypt?
yeah, it's a hexagon shape with a like square castle keep on the inside that's kind of in the back corner, tilted. And there's a stable house and a well and something that looks like a family mausoleum or crypt. You, through your lens, would definitely think that's what this is. It even has like a wrought iron gate around it, and you can see some headstones. So this is definitely some kind of a family burial site. And it was actually very clean and well manicured, probably because of recent death.
If we needed a distraction, I could flood the courtyard with dead bodies.
No,
It's a good distraction. I would be distracted.
It's fun. Sofkeen, I wouldn't have him attack you.
Yeah, like I'm.
Raise the entire Hobsmiller dead cemetery people.
I don't know.
She did. Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I was gonna say a Hobsmiller did raise some, snakes to kill us. So,
but was it actually Mildred, or was it someone pretending to be Mildred? We are not entirely sure.
Yeah, we haven't fully worked out how Mildred encountered the Naga in the first place, right? Because obviously the real Naga had Mildred's real body. Mm-hmm. So somehow they came into contact, but we don't know how, when, where, or why.
Oh, I've just been working on the assumption that she was working with them, wanted their assistance, or
that very well could
I always
be
think
the
the worst in people.
Right, she could have summoned them, or maybe they just kind of sought her out because she was someone on the council and whatnot, right? Like we don't know that connection yet.
Well, the council thinks the hookah's here, so I think we should try it.
Yeah, right? Prunus thinks the council, the hookah is here somewhere.
Does she? This is not Sufkeen speaking, this is Jennifer speaking.
Yeah, that's what Prunus said, was that Prunus said it was in, to quote her exactly, Prunus said it was in Mildred's compound.
Oh, okay.
Is what Prunus said exactly.
So we're going off of her educated guess, or the council's guess.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Is Mildred's compound in the estate castle?
See, that's the thing, is I'm a little confused. Is like, when she said compound, did she mean castle? I expect
area, right?
Yeah, like I expected something a little bit more like a storage barn or something like that, but
yeah, or like a little house, or I don't know.
Yeah,
I would say colloquially, you'd probably know the context of that word in common, since you all are from the same time period. So I would say from context, you would gather that it could be in the town of Sneed, it could be in the meadery, it could be somewhere in the bay, it could be in the castle itself, because all of this entire area is under Hobsmiller control. It is Hobsmiller land, even the fields. So somewhere on the compound means just that whole area of control.
Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily even mean in the castle. It could be in Sneed somewhere, or in the lake. It could be under the lake.
Yeah.
But even if they have any magic users working for them, if they were to even locate and see, like, oh, this is a magical item, whether they knew what the hookah was or not, I bet they would hide it in some sort of storage area for magical items. I don't know. Rich people always have those.
Okay, so then if we're working under the assumption that it's hidden, then we have two options. Either one, we can blindly go in and just be like, we assume it's in the castle, and then just try to find our way through the castle. Or option two is we can try to gather more information, right? We can ask around more around the meadery, ask around Sneed, maybe interrogate one of the guards at the castle, something like that, to try to get more information about it. I don't really have any spells that I can do that would gather more information, other than enhance ability to make us a little bit more charismatic to talk to someone. But so other than that, it might just be like kidnapping a guard and like questioning him or something like that. But even then, a guard might not necessarily know where her storage is for her magic items. So we could potentially find one of her siblings, because we know that like the person who is in charge of the inn, she's in charge of like marketing or whatever. Her and the other guy, they're like her siblings or her cousins. Cousins, I think, is what it is.
Yeah, they're a bit more removed. Isn't her brother like the head of the Hobsman estate now, or family or something?
Yeah, so we could maybe we could ask to speak to like either one of her family members or like her cousin and try to get information out of them where she would keep important things. Then at least we're not going in blindly.
We could find her bedroom.
We did ask people in the meadery though. And I feel like we did ask people. Yeah. My general like feeling, the people in the meadery don't know anything. They just work at a tourist trap. And so
they were off though. The two like cousins, the two people that were actual hops millers, they were very like, what's the word? Not passive, but they were kind of like, oh well, she's dead. Like they weren't really grieving about her. They didn't.
Roll an insight check for me, Lindell. Along that line of thinking. Just thinking back to your interactions with all of the other hops millers.
+8.
You get the feeling that there's been a rift in the family, maybe because of the status of either being lumped in with the meadery folk or the ones that are actually privy to what goes on in the castle and with the wine. Not necessarily bad blood, but just like, you know, she died, but we don't get any inheritance, and we're still stuck in this tourist trap. Kind of similar to what you said.
Yeah.
So we are hops millers, but we really don't have any power. We do and we don't.
I think we need to get in there. Because another thought is they have a massive compound. She was on the council. She had to have known there were smugglers around. You're going to keep your important items under lock and key. Otherwise, Edmund's getting in there. He's smuggling your stuff out.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
I think that's why that place is locked down even more than the Panopticon.
And there was, when we drove past, there was a cave under the castle on the edge of the lake. So there's got to be either, like when we were taking the carriage ride here, you could see, if you looked over the lake, that there was a cave kind of like under the castle.
It looked like right here, like in the cavern, there was Rajwin called it a boat dock. It's like the private Hopsmiller boat dock area. You have to sail into the cliff face.
If it's private, like that could be an easier access to get right into the heart of the castle.
Right,
maybe, rather than through. Yeah.
We're going to have to see what Edmund's man says. What his idea is. Because that might be a good escape also.
Yeah, we could keep that in mind for an exit.
I will do my best to stay in character and not tell anyone in there that I'm actually you, Auburnell, Master Exorcist.
Yes, please do.
Care about you being a Master Exorcist, so just don't.
We really got to work on code names. I really think code names would be really helpful.
Well, I didn't come up with any because my code names are no good. So one of you can make code names. It's not a skill that I have, apparently.
Well, I thought it was fine. I mean,
fish legs. I mean,
fish legs. I'll think of a name. I'll think of a good Albergian name.
Well, and just because Lafayette was all like, true names have power, don't let anyone know your true name, and yada, yada, yada. And we did hear Foreteller laughing in our heads, whatever, yesterday or the day before. So we know he's still around somewhere.
I guess that's been in the back of my mind, that I think Foreteller wants us to find him, as opposed to the council, as opposed to somebody that would sell him like Edmund. So maybe he'll give us some help. Any help he can.
We could try to placate him some way and see if he's got some kind of power that he can do to help us.
Right. Tell him that we won't sell him off or make him give us stupid wishes.
With us.
Yeah. He'd probably get along with Xavier in real life.
We could offer to release him too. I've heard, like, because they're bound to the hookahs or lamps or whatever. There was a story that my dad used to tell me about someone in a desert area, an Ali Baba or something like that. About then there was a genie in a lamp, and one of the guy's wishes was to release the genie. So maybe we could do that.
Roll a history check.
Aren't they like chaos engines?
Okay.
What would keep him from, murdering us all or locking us all in dreams forever and ever?
True. Maybe for our code names, we could come up with like people that we know that like we can remember. So like you could be, I don't know. Trying to think of people that we all know together.
I have a list of people that live in Gold District.
Yeah, you could be Prunus, and Lindell, you could be Seb, and I could be Carlton, and Xavier could be someone else. I don't know.
Lindell, how'd you roll?
Them, right?
I got a 12.
12.
Very middle of the ground today.
You remember that your father's story about this this hookah? It was used by these ancient sages to trap elemental tricksters.
Oh.
Elemental trickster. Oh,
that's about all you remember, though.
Lindell, I didn't know your mom was a cartographer. And you had a dad that told you stories?
Yeah, he was.
I knew your mom was a cartographer. I'm a good friend.
Thanks. She was. Yeah, my mom.
You did know.
Thanks, Afkeen. I appreciate you. But yeah, my mom was a cartographer. She was a rogue. Her and my dad were part of the same adventuring company, and they adventured all over the place. When I was really young, they didn't really do much. My dad is a cleric of Dominus. So we used to go to different kinds of ceremonies, like weddings and all sorts of things, and he would perform the rites and whatnot, and I used to all get dressed up in my little frock, and it was super cute. But yeah, growing up, they were amazing parents, and they taught me all sorts of things. My mom taught me how to be all sneaky, and my dad taught me about different things of worship. It really wasn't my thing at the time. And then just when I got older and older, I could take care of myself, so they started going on quests and adventures, and then I was getting letters every month. They were on a really long one. They were gone for a year until one day the letters just stopped coming, and I don't know what happened to them.
Rajuin turns down as you guys are all sitting in the back of the carriage. Right, while you tell stories, can I get on with it?
Oh, we're waiting for Xavier, right? You back?
One more to add to the party. All right, carry on.
Did your father tell you about the Spriggan and the gods and stuff?
He told me a little bit about other gods, but he was all like, oh, the great drake is the best god, and oh, you should do it this way, and oh, these are the rites, and oh, keep your armor all polished and shiny, and...
He taught you about that, but he didn't teach you numbers?
Well, they taught me how to read, but it was just... It's not my thing, I'd much rather be like out playing with the other kids and stuff at the time. So they were just kind of really getting. That's okay.
I just assumed you were always a street urchin. I hadn't really thought beyond that because we've only known each other for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's fair. We haven't really had a lot of plot character development. No, I've only been living on the street. When I was 13, my parents stopped sending letters, and then I was living with a family friend for a year, but the bakery burned down, and we had to move down to Sub 1, and we had no money, and then there was this thing where they were going to sell me off to no. They were going to sell off my mom's research and her maps to get into a cult, and then I was like, nope, this is too scary, and I just left, and so I've been living on the street ever since.
Other maps that your mom made besides the Spiralia map?
No. My mom's a cartographer. Like in our house growing up, there was a room. I remember, like it was a small room, but there was good lighting and just paper everywhere, bookshelves, and she had a big flat board thing that she would stretch out parchment on, and she would do maps for commission or just of places that they'd adventured, and that was how when with the money from the quests wasn't a lot, they would sell some of my mom's maps, and that's how we got our food on the table.
Oh, I just assumed you were just like eating garbage your whole life.
No, I have, and like the soup that they make at the orphanage isn't garbage. They actually, we do our best to
But
find
then
some good stuff.
you remember that one rat that one time.
Yeah, it got dark right at the beginning. But anyways, and it was, you know, I learned how to survive on the streets, and then I found the Spriggan, and things have been steadily getting better ever since. He teaches me different tricks and spells, and then I've been able to like break into different buildings and loot all sorts of like metals that I've been selling off to a junker, and I collect oysters from one of the canals, and we put those in the soup for the orphans, and there's all sorts of things.
What are you
that
gonna do with that
now.
spoon?
What spoon? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. I guess
Or
I
this
was-
spoon?
No, you don't know about the spoon. You know about your spoon.
Well, yeah, I've got my spoon. It's very important.
Just being an orphan, and after my parents disappeared and living on the street, you just, if there's something that you think you might need someday, you just put it in your pocket.
I was an orphan, but I wasn't taught to put things in my pocket.
Lindell, the way you've rationalized it within your religious beliefs is that the Spriggan doesn't really care much for the creations of man, more for the creations of nature and how things grow and evolve and change, and also respects somewhat the reuse or repurposement of items.
Yeah. Doesn't want things to go to waste.
Yeah.
The 3 R's. Aw.
Produce, reuse, re-enchant.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. And I don't know if my parents are alive or dead. I tried looking around to find clues about them and see where they were, but no one really knew what had happened to them because they'd been questing for a year by the time they disappeared. So,
When they sent your last letter,
pardon?
where were they? When you received your last letter, where did they say they were?
They were. I don't remember. I wish I had the letter in front of me. They all kind of not went up in flames, but they went missing when the family friends were trying to sell them off to the cult. But all I know is that they were.
If I smoke? It's rather cold outside.
Yeah, sure, Rajuan.
Rajuan puffs a little bit on a really long fluted pipe, and it begins to billow smoke. And he blows out, and a dragon appears in the smoke, blows out a lick of smoky flame, and then dissipates as it flies off into the distance. Right, little trick I picked up. Go on, sorry.
Lovely.
Yeah,
okay.
This is, and Lindell will hold up the map that Edmund had used. This is the last thing my mom sent me in the mail was this map.
Well, it's pretty amazing.
And all I know is that they were looking for the eldership of the founders. They didn't tell me exactly where they were in their last letter, so I don't know where they left off, but that's what they were looking for, was something called the eldership of the founders.
Never heard of it, or have I? Is it religious in any way?
You have not heard of that.
Interesting.
Would I have heard of it? Probably not. But
You're on the ocean.
Pirate
History
stories?
check with severe disadvantage. Go ahead. Roll a history check with disadvantage.
Hey, you might have heard a story.
Triple disadvantage.
Natural 20s, 2 in a row.
Yeah, roll 4 d20s and take the no.
What'd she say?
I don't know. We lost her
time.
audio.
oh, I got a 14 with this.
Oh, you got a 14. Okay.
Another one was a
Eldership of the
17.
Founders. Nope. You've never heard of anything like that.
All right.
You is
That's
loving
fine.
this conversation, but Seda has IBS and I have to run to the bathroom again.
Okay, so
So-
maybe we should go ahead.
I love you
end
guys.
there. You guys can continue to talk in the chat as if you're just waiting in the back of the wagon for Xavier to get back,
Okay.
and we'll pick up next time with you guys setting off for Hopsmill Castle.
Okay, love you
All right,
guys.
love you
Love you.
guys.
Lindell would
and-
absolutely be asking about your guys' family too, so.
Okay, yes. Okay.
I'll put that in the chat. But I'll see you
right,
next
right.
time.
A little bit of lore dumping, hopefully, next time. All right, see you guys.
Bye.